You know, I don't know if he's off the hip saying that, trying to warn people out of the goodness of his heart, or if it's as part of their conditioning to pre-warn people what's coming. The ultimate, I mean, if you want to look at any kind of a justice, is that our whole world government, and America being the aggressors that they are, is to force the entire world into this one world government to be ruled by one leader. And this whole New World Order faction run by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds are going to be in for their own surprise, because when all of this does come to fruition and this one world government is in place, none of them get to run it. It's going to be run by the Antichrist, which is Satan, and it's going to be run by his leaders. He doesn't need humans. He doesn't need their military. He doesn't need their forces. He's going to bring in his own people.
Now
so all of these pawns of the New World Order are going to be, you know, I've always said it, they'll be the first ones on the train to the internment camp.
And now also you happen to believe that George Bush is a shape-shifting alien. What alien species would you think he is?
Well, they're hybrid reptilians. The whole thing with our governmental leaders are all related. And you'll be able to trace all of them, their lineages, back to the 13 Illuminati bloodline families that Fritz Springmeier exposed before he died.
Right.
Or he's still in jail, excuse me.
Really?
But all of these bloodline families are nothing but hybrid children.
Whoa. And
so they are half human, half alien. They're not even pure human families. And the reason they interbreed amongst themselves isn't to keep them from being contaminated by bad blood. It's to keep pure human DNA out. They like their contaminated blood. It gives them the ability to shape-shift, to be half alien, half human. They can go in between realms, dimensions, anytime they want to.
Really? Well, I tell you what, when you're talking about the leaders of the country, do you think that there are just individuals running everything, or you think that a shadow government is pulling the strings for George Bush? And where is it that Cheney goes for months on end? He seems like he just disappears. Is he going underground?
Cheney's afraid of his own shadow. You know, he's very controlled, very possessed by these reptilian entities. And what they are is all of these governmental leaders are ruled by an Illuminati council. And what this council is, it's not even a human council. It's made up of the aliens, the aliens that they are, their genealogies trace all the way back to, because like I said, they're half human, half alien, they're hybrid children. And so this council is the one that rules them. This council is the one that tells them what to do, that works through them as human pawns to establish the New World Order on Earth. And so they're just following orders.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately, they're the ones, they're following orders from the reptilians themselves.
Now, do you think many people talk about, many of our previous guests, and I'm sure on your show too as well, talking about the internal strife and civil war and that. Now, do you think that the government is encouraging illegal immigrants to come here, and are they plans to be set loose on society at the right moment?
Well, they've been trying to destroy America. I mean, if they can't do it outwardly, you can see how Bush and the whole cabal there antagonizes Iran, antagonizes Russia, antagonizes China. They antagonize everybody to hit us with their nuke weapons. They want us to be hit. They want to be in a war. They want to destroy America.
Whoa.
And so if they can't do it by antagonizing people to come over here and attack us, they don't care if the Mexicans are coming over or the Canadians are coming down, because all of North America is going to be one free trade zone. If you look at the United Nations plan, there's 10 regions of the earth. They're all divided up. And North America is all divided into one region.
Right.
So it's no longer going to be a Mexico, Canada, United States. I think we're just region 3 of the UN's 10 regions.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're definitely just a region according to the Illuminati and them. Now, other countries now, do they have shape-shifting aliens in power? And are the aliens going to try to pit nations against nation, or are they just going after everybody in general?
Well, most of them are. And the ones that aren't controlled are the ones we have problems with. And so you'll see President Bush attacking countries and overthrowing their leaders because they're not one of them, they can't be controlled, and installing them with one that they can control, one of their own. And so what's interesting is to find these countries that aren't going along with the New World Order. They're the normal ones. They're the human ones. You know, they're the ones that don't want to be controlled by these Satanists and these aliens. And so that's why our government goes up against them.
Really? Well, now, have you personally seen somebody shapeshift?
Well, Al Gore on television a couple of years ago. That was the talk of the internet when that started, when that happened. I think I've mentioned it on your show before.
Yeah.
When he was on television getting angry, started visibly shape-shifting, they hurried up and turned the camera away from him. it was the talk of the internet for quite a while.
Yeah, and the other thing is talking about who is the Antichrist. Several people have come up with the number 666 in people's names, but it seems like there were several people mentioned as the possible Antichrist. Now, is the Antichrist going to be a human taken over by a demon or by an alien?
Well, the Old Testament prophets, if you look at all of their scriptures, and it could be over 100 that details the last days Babylon and who the last days Babylon is, which it can be no other than America itself. We're the lone superpower, we're the largest exporter, largest importer. There's over 100 different qualifications just in the Old Testament prophecies about the last days Babylon. And they state that the last days Antichrist will be a leader from Babylon.
Yeah. I had a guest on, and I asked him that if I saw a demon or if I saw an alien, if I could go ahead and put a .32 bullet in the back of his head, do you think that aliens can be shot and killed, or do you think their skin is impervious to weapons?
Well, they're spiritual beings. I mean, as believers of the Lord, we have power to cast them into the abyss, to keep them away from us in His name.
Well, when they're walking around,
you can't kill a spiritual entity, but what you can do is, if they do have a body, you can annoy them long enough to where they have to get a new one.
Well, you can kill you can kill their body, right?
What's that?
You can kill their body, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can kill a reptilian. I really don't know. I don't know at this point.
I would like to try.
I know things that aggravate them.
Yeah.
The presence of orgone around burns them, makes it so it's hard to breathe. They can't breathe around it.
Really?
There's things that annoy them that will keep them away from you. Also, just calling on the name of the Lord if you're a believer in Him. And a lot of people wanting to know who is the last days Antichrist. Is it going to be George Bush? And he's still a candidate. But also you have to realize that they have their own leaders coming in, these ascended masters, Sananda, Jermaine, Maitreya, and it could be one of those leaders as well. Whoever takes up control of the United States, because it's going to be the leader of the United States.
Yeah. And so you see the United States as sort of the linchpin for the fall of the whole world, so the alien attack will happen here and then branch out to other countries?
Definitely. I mean, the United States is the base of alien operations for the entire world. We have over 100 underground alien bases here already. We have many of them working together with our military already. It's the sole center of their operations right now, the United States.
And so you say they also have underground bases. What do you think about that Groom Lake? Is there an alien base under there, or is that U.S. Air Force there?
Well, that used to be an underground human base. I heard it's been taken over by the aliens. It was a joint base there for a long time, where they back-engineered UFOs.
Yeah.
But now they have, they've got Area 51 for building UFOs, Area 52 for painting UFOs.
Oh, really?
They have their own stuff going on over there.
Yeah. Well, I also imagine you're going to need your spaceship cleaned every now and again. I wonder if they got a spaceship car wash.
Yeah. Well, they have an underground area at Los Alamos in New Mexico where they store a lot of these ships that they built. And they also spread them around to various Air Force bases around the United States. They'll have hangars to store their own fleets in.
Really? Yeah. So there are hangars.
The largest alien base is probably Dulce, in Dulce, New Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and what about several years ago that black triangular UFO that went over Phoenix? What do you think that was?
That was human. That's military.
Really? So there you go. So you believe then that the military has their own UFOs. So if we do look up at the nighttime sky, we may see one of our own.
Yeah, we could. The difference being really